since I made a video because I've been so busy writing songs. This is one of them. But my whole point of getting on here is to share a story about faith and spirituality and how it impacts you every day of your life when you practice it every day and you have a relationship. So I'm driving and my appointment's at 11 o'clock and I always get the directions wrong. And of course I'm in the wrong lane. I'm listening to a song, you know, I'm jamming out. I'm like, darn it. And I just took a deep breath and said, well, you know what, I'm going to get redirected. It's all right, you know, it's all right. And at the last minute, the car to the left behind me needed to get over, and I was able to get over. And the whole point of this is if you just allow things to be and you don't resist them, sometimes last minute there's an opening and you can see it because you could breathe. And when you get angry and the anger becomes destructive rather than constructive, what happens is you can't see, and it ends up making you kind of tank sometimes and quit. And you know, when you allow life to happen as it is, understand that you will not miss your mark if you put your faith in the hands of something greater than who you are as a human. We are it's amazing to be a human. It's amazing to be a human. Okay? But humans are limited. Okay? The source in which pulses beneath our human that makes us have the ability to experience that which is alive here on earth, to feel the breeze on our skin, to feel the coldness and the chills run down our spine, to be able to see the blue sky, to be able to listen and hear music and the vibration it gives you in the middle of your chest when it hits you just right. Do we understand that we are native? Before we were born and before we had a name, we were that which is. We are a divine design, and when you are living on your purpose and you're in alignment and you have total faith in that, you cannot, it's not a possibility, it's impossible to miss your calling, because you're picking up every time you hear the phone ring. And that's part of doing the work, is listening and answering and being connected and having and building the relationship first. This is the foundation to everything. And then you understand that you weren't even worried about it, and all of a sudden there's an opening and you get to get back on track. So instead of me taking the long way and having to reroute, which would have been fine, I would have still found my path, right? It's kind of like when you make a mistake and you got to come back from it, right? It's like, okay, it's going to take a little bit longer to get back on your path, but at least you're aware that I got to do a U-turn, right? Hold on, I got a U-turn and get back on my path, back on my purpose. So the point to this is, sometimes when you're doing the work off the court, meaning you're building that relationship and you're listening to the music that feeds your soul, and you're telling yourself the words that your soul needs to hear to heal, and you're giving yourself space to feel everything on the emotional spectrum, when you're doing the work and you're putting the work into it, it takes care of you by giving you openings and sometimes a little shortcut to getting back on track. Because rather than me reacting during that moment, oh man, gosh, I'm going to be late, everything's going to be okay. Even though I was running late, everything's gonna be okay. I believe in that. Sometimes we're being safe. Sometimes we gotta take the long way, because if I took the shortcut, I would have got hit. You know, sometimes we're being protected and we don't even know it. And so we have to remember, whatever it is for a reason. And sometimes we can't see it, which is why we have to close our eyes and return within to know the truth and to see the truth, because our human eyes are limiting. That is why one could say, there are some that are blind with the eyes open. There are some that are deaf who can hear, right? Do you understand that's a metaphor? This is a metaphor. The only way you can hear and see is if you are connected to your heart, is if you can see through the eyes of love, if you can see both sides and then the whole story, and you can witness it and not judge it. This takes practice, intentional practice. It's inner martial arts, and it will impact your life for the rest of your life if you start today. It's never too late. It's true. It's never too late. And every minute counts, every step counts, every second counts of every single day. All we have is right now. And we have to trust that wherever we are right now is where we are meant to be for some reason that maybe we don't understand right now. And we don't have to understand it. We can trust in it and say, how do I want to look, when I look back, I want to be proud of how I engaged with what was. What's my story? What's my story when things are bad? What's my story when I'm in pain? Who am I when things, and when I'm at my worst and everything around me is at my worst? Am I a puppet to my external circumstance, to whatever the external storm is out there? It becomes the internal storm within. If someone is angry, I become angry. If someone's upset, I become upset. If they start to rain, I rain with them. Well, how about we learn how to dance in their rain? How do we uplift them when they're raining, when they're crying? How do we put an umbrella over them so we can shelter them instead of adding more to the fire, right? We don't have to add more to the anger. We don't have to burn more. We don't have to add more wood. What we have to do is become the water and put it out, right? We got to lift each other up. And we have to trust that when you're on the path of love and you're walking the way, that which is of love, that you cannot miss the victory. The victory is in front of you and you're just walking towards it because you're on the path of light and you became the light in your own darkness. Yes, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but at some point it just doesn't even matter when you're in the darkness and you're your own light. Even when it's dark, even when you're crying, even when things aren't all right, you're still okay because you want to hold the human experience. You are here to inhabit your human body. Your soul wants to feel everything here. It wants to take it back home when we return home. It wants to know what it was like to cry, not resist it because it feels wrong and not all right. It is okay to cry. We want to know what it's like to be sad, to be happy, to be joyful, to grieve, to know the cost of love is grief, but it is worth the cost because without love, there isn't a reason to be here. We come here to feel that which is the greatest kind of love, the one you can not only feel from within, but then you get the union physically of that connection, that touch, the pulse of pulling you two together because you just know. You just know. And there's no denying it, and there's no questioning it. There's just a knowing and a truth of, yes, this is right. And so the dream starts to chase you because you became it. You embodied what you used to dream about. What was outside of you is now inside of you that no one can take. And regardless of your external circumstances, you're living the dream, baby. Because you became what you wish you could have had. You became what you longed for, what you used to reach for. You went inside and you went and got it by becoming it. And then you built the sanctuary of love, the well, the endless source. And when things get hard, you put the bucket down and you pull back up from the endless well, the source, the water that never ends, like the ocean and the vastness of it. And you create from the pain. You go to the subconscious, to the shadows and what remains. And you go to the ruins and you bring to light that which controls you and harms you, that which used to serve you and protect you, which no longer does because you're somebody else now. And so when people ask if I changed, I say, yeah, I have. And they say, yeah, it really seems like you have. And I say, thank you. I've worked really hard to change. Thank you for noticing. It was an intentional change. It was on purpose. It was on purpose. The change was on purpose. Get it? I'm walking on purpose. I'm walking on purpose, regardless. Regardless. My inner world is my own inner world, and the outer world will reflect it due to the fact that it is founded on love. My systems are founded on unconditional love. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about the collective. It's about everybody. I want everybody to be free from the internal prisons because we have the key. All we got to do is reach down in our pocket and get it and turn the key. That's it. All we got to do is take the truth straight or have it on the rocks and sip it slow. But either way, it's okay if truth hurts because we came here for the pain too.